in the live stream, in a Monday live stream, uh, because we're going crazy. Because that's why. Because we're crazy. That's why. It's a live stream. Because I want to squeeze more live streams into my weekly schedule. And so here we are. And I found myself just sitting here, not quite ready for bed, and also doing nothing. So I'm just like, hey man, you know that extra live stream thing you've been talking about doing for like weeks now, but like you haven't done it? The idea that you come up with and want to do, but leave behind like so many of your neurodivergent ideas that pop up, you could just like do one of those right now, and it'd be like pretty cool. So I'm doing a live stream. It's a live stream. I'm just opening up all my different tabs. I open up a lot of different tabs. I open up all my social medias when I do these live streams. To read comments across the various platforms in case chat's not really going. I have some screenshots pulled up, little like notes that I've made myself to help me remember certain topics and whatnot, Bible verses and whatnot, that I pull out my, my other YouTube profile so that I can watch the live stream from there in case the live chat stops on my end so that I can keep reading chat uh, without it, because it hasn't stopped for me. It hasn't failed me yet watching it on the other thing, so that works out. And then I usually have a Google tab open so I can do some quick Googling. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Wait, I hit the wrong button. Mild panic. No, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine and under control. And it is great. I do still plan on doing a live stream tomorrow night as well. I just wanted to do an extra one this week because I can. Because I can. I did get a lot of interesting comments, a lot of upsetty spaghetti comments on one of my recent videos. On a couple of them, on my Christianity's harmful nonsense and what did I say? Christianity hijacking morality. Might be do some of those. A lot of it is just like, I don't know, nothing really to respond to, but like I can respond to some of them. Hello. 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 Welcome. Welcome. Hope you're all doing well tonight. Talk is cheap. Please give evidence of God, of the Bible supporting misogyny. I don't want a 100-word explanation or its complicated issue blah, just a quick single instance from the Bible. Okay, Numbers 30. If a man makes a vow, I actually have my Bible verses I pull up. If a man makes a vow, he has to honor that vow. If a woman makes a vow, her husband or her father can veto that vow. Leviticus 27, verse, and that's Numbers 31 through 16. Leviticus 27, 1 through 7, talks about, it puts women at monetarily less valuable than men. There are also verses like Exodus 21, 7, 11, where you can sell your daughter. There are ones like Deuteronomy 21, 10 through 13. You can take basically prisoners of war to be your wives, to be yourself, to be your the unwed, the woman who have not known a man as yourself. Then you got the epistles: submit to your husband. You cannot teach. You cannot have authority over man. Weaker vessel. You cannot speak in church. All that stuff. So just putting them on a lower tier than men. And that's not even all of the verses where you can find it. Those are just the ones I have jotted down. I still, it baffles me slightly when people, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not. It baffles me slightly when I see people use Pascal's wager as a good argument for believing in a God and why we should believe in a God, because that's one of the worst to me. That's just, it just falls apart as soon as you try to question it. Hey bro, what do I do live stream? That's what I do. Just 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 an idiot talking to a camera at night. That's it. Nothing special. Uh, it's cool that you left a chat. It's cool that anyone stops by at all. I got one like. That's pretty nice. But Pascal's wager. Pascal's wager is just kind of like the just in case argument, or like the what if you're wrong argument. Like it's better just to believe in case, because if you believe in a God, it seems when people use Pascal's wager, they seem to just put believe. It's not enough to just believe, you should follow. But a lot of people think that if you believe in a God, you're automatically going to follow him. Like if people, because some people argue that God won't show himself because it takes away our free will. Because once we know he's real, we're automatically going to have to follow him. No, we're not. If the God of Christianity were proven to be real, I would say, hey, look, there he is. But I still would not follow him, no matter what he offers me or threatens me with. So I would have to add, and I think it's implied, but I would like to specify, believe in and follow the Christian God. And he's real, you get to go to heaven. And if he's not real, no harm done. People think you've lived a good life, even though I can argue with that. I don't really think Christianity is the best way to live life. But whatever, and to each their own, I guess. If you don't believe in a God, and he's real, you go to hell for all eternity, and that sucks. If you don't believe in God and he is not real, whatever. It's whatever. I'm sure someone might argue that you threw your life away on atheism, but whatever. But a few problems with this. Which God? Which God? There are thousands of different gods and supernatural beings or whatever that have been worshipped and followed throughout human history. How do you rule them out? How do you know it has to be specifically the Christian God? And then Christianity has thousands of different denominations on its own, and they vary. There are some Christians who don't even believe that Jesus is God. So like there's not all of these denominations are right. Even if you can say, that some of them are close enough together to where, like, this denomination can both get into heaven, whatever. There's a lot of different variations between them, and some on fundamental issues. So you got to pick the right religion, the right denomination of the right religion. Because also, what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong? What if you're a Christian and I'm an atheist, and one day we die and we are met with Allah? We're both fucked. What are we going to do then? And you also, you don't get to choose. It's not a thing of like, okay, I'll just believe. You don't really get to choose your belief. You could want to believe something, and you're like, I'd like to believe. You can maybe tell yourself that you believe it or try to trick yourself. But at the end of the day, if you really ask yourself, it's either you are convinced enough of something to warrant a belief or you are not. And that's not really something that's in your control. So I can't just choose to believe. I genuinely just don't. The evidence ain't there. I'm just not convinced. I just don't believe. And what if I did just believe or just follow Christianity just in case? Like, do I get in on brownie points? Like, it just like fake it till I make it? Does God is he either not able to tell, or does he like, you followed the motions, even though you're supposed to do more than just follow the motions? But I'll let it slide because he got in, he tried or whatever. It doesn't work, and it's not really a good argument. And I can understand why people think it's a good argument, because like many arguments, it's an argument that I once thought was a good argument, and even used in multiple occasions to justify my own faith back when I was a Christian. So I'm not going to throw too much shade. But I just don't really think it's a very good argument. I was going to say something else. I got a driveway notification and it's gone. It's gone. What was I going to say? What was I going to say? I am happy. Yes, I was going to bring up. I am glad that I was raised Christian. Because not everyone who comes to my content knows that, but I was raised Christian. I was a devout Christian for the first 20 plus years of my life. Lost my faith because I started diving deeper into my studies so that I could become an apologist. It's because I wanted to spread and defend the faith to the best of my ability. I am alive. And studying my faith is how I lost my faith. But I do like, because I can say stuff like, I understand why Christians or theists think that Pascal's wager is a good argument. Because I used to think that. I used to be fully involved and dedicated to this worldview, to this God, and believe completely that I had a relationship with this God and that I interacted with this God. I thought that I knew this God existed and that there was nothing in the world that could ever change that. And now I'm here. So it's being on both sides of the argument, advocating at one point in my life for both sides of the argument, gives me such a great level of understanding of the other side, because it's not just, oh, these dumb Christians. No, it's not about being dumb. It's a lot more complicated than that, and I like that I can understand that from my upbringing. Yes, I am alive. I just I put my daughter to sleep, and then I was just kind of up, and like I'm a little sleepy and just probably go to bed, but I just kind of didn't want to, and I just got to thinking, hey, you know those extra live streams that you're always talking about doing? Do it. Maybe this is a good night to do it. So I probably will do a hard cutoff tonight at an hour, maybe even less. We'll see, because I do have work in the morning. Tuesday nights I usually do live streams because I don't have work the next day, so I just have more of the evening. 5 days out of the week I have to be up, and especially this time of year, clocked in before the sun rises. So like, can't stay up too late, but I can squeeze in like an hour live or 45-minute live, or just whatever. I want these extra live streams, and I've been talking about it for too long without doing it. So here's an extra live stream. I don't know how many others are gonna be. Yes, a Monday live stream. I don't know how many. I'm not gonna make any promises on how many other extra live streams I'm gonna do, but I'm here now. Hi, Space Z, good to see you. Hi, Kieran K, good to see you. Hey, answer me this. Do you actually care about a Christian faith? And if you do, why do you denounce it so much? I'm sorry, I think this is a me problem. I don't really know if I understand the question. Do I actually care about a Christian faith? And if I do, why do I denounce it so much? I think Christianity is overall harmful nonsense, and it has done a lot of harm and continues to do a lot of harm. And I think that's worth speaking out against. Is the short answer. I mean, I can go into more details. And I've explained in recent videos, especially one particular recent video, Christianity's harmful nonsense. The problems, some of the big problems that I have with Christianity, and why I speak out against it. I'm also just very passionate about religion. I always have been. Even back when I was a Christian defending Christianity to my poor, unsuspecting Facebook friends. I mean, most of them are Christians, so like they all loved it. They didn't like it when I switched hats to promoting atheism and speaking out against Christianity on my private Facebook page. That they did not like at all. But most some of them did. But the vast majority did not. But it's a topic I like. And I think it's a topic that's very interesting and it's very important, and I'm very passionate about it. And so here I am. It's kind of the short in it. You can't call Christianity the worst religion, but you can still cause one of the worst religions. I think they're trying to say that because I wouldn't pin Christianity as the worst religion. It's a contender. Um, I think this might be like a atheists have a religion type of jab, even though atheism is just lack of belief in a God. That's it. There's not a worldview, there's not a book, there's not a rule book, there's not anything. And we can vary on anything else. Apart from that, you can be atheist and pro-life, pro-choice, Republican, Democrat. You can be an atheist who believes in ghosts. You can be an atheist who doesn't believe in evolution. It's true that a lot of atheists do tend to align on certain topics, but that's not like the atheist worldview. That's not a thing. Atheism is just like a stance on a position, or a response to a claim, rather. It's like, there is a God. I don't believe that. I don't have that belief. It's not quite a religion. Somebody left a comment. Why didn't I know donuts could talk? Because you weren't looking hard enough. You weren't looking hard enough. I've been right here. I've been making this content for 2.5 years, and you're just now realizing donuts can talk. I don't know what to do for you. Atheist equals someone who can't stop talking about a God he pretends doesn't exist. I genuinely don't believe that one exists, but this is a common argument against atheists, that there's a God, because everyone knows. Everyone knows there is a God, so you just like pretend or reject or whatever. I don't believe in a God. And if any of the gods that have been proposed by the religions that I've studied, at least, especially the Abrahamic gods, I would reject if I were to learn that they were real. But I would not reject their existence. If I wouldn't follow them, I would still give them the finger, but I wouldn't reject their existence if I knew that they were real, if I had good reason to believe that they were real, and followed where the evidence goes. And I can't stop talking about religion, because religion and God, well, I guess God stays out of my life, but religion and the people who follow religions and gods and whatnot can't stay out of my life. Can't stop fucking with the general public around the world throughout history, but even especially right now, well, not especially right now, but including right now in the country that I live in. And it's a religion that I was raised in. I saw the harm firsthand for myself and some of my peers. And so I'm going to talk about it. It goes back to what I was saying a little bit ago. I think Christianity is harmful nonsense, and it's something that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about the topic of religion in general. So I think it's worth speaking out against. And a lot of people love bringing up Islam. They love bringing up Islam. You're speaking out all this stuff, but you don't speak out against Islam. Wasn't raised in Islam. Wasn't raised Muslim. Don't have a good background. Have studied it briefly. Read the Quran once and then listened to an audiobook through it another time. Would not call myself an expert at all, but I don't know about it. And it's not the religion directly impacting people's lives in the country that I live in. So it's not, I still speak out against the Abrahamic religions, but it's not my focus, and it's not really my battle. Christianity is attacking me and people in the country that I live in right now. Not to say that there's any less importance on the people being attacked by Islam, especially in other countries. That is serious, including the Christians being attacked by Islam. That is serious. That's a problem. I'm in another fight over here. So I'll speak on that problem, but I'm going to focus on this one. And it kind of also just goes back to you speak out against Christianity, why don't you speak out against homelessness or hunger or cancer or whatever else, needing cancer research, whatever else. First off, I do. Second off, it's just, this is my main thing. And I think no matter what I speak out against or talk about, people are always going to say well, why are you talking about this thing? This thing's important too. I understand. This is my main topic. We also here in the US have a big problem with unjustifiable Islamophobia. We've actually just discriminated against Muslims wrongfully in this country for no good reason, just because they're Muslims. And I'm not going to feed into that. I'm sure a lot of the Christians who watch my content would love to see me hop over on their side so we can tag team Islam. But I'm not going to give them that. Sorry. And I'm not going to feed the very wrong Islamophobia going on in my country. I'm pagan, but I'm not saying you'll go to hell because you aren't making an altar to Loki. People say that we have a problem with them because they're Christian, but it's because they won't leave us be. Yeah. Dance monkey? Absolutely not. I am not a dance person. I can ramble. I can ramble for you for I could probably ramble for hours. I'm not going to. I could probably. Okay, I actually want to make a video on this one. You're so quick to point out the harm that Christianity has done, but you don't seem to have a single example of where it benefits us, and seem to be reluctant to admit that religious beliefs can be helpful. I have admitted in the past that religious beliefs can be helpful. But here's the thing. Religious beliefs can help people, like a tapeworm can help someone lose weight. And there have been people who have intentionally, I think they ingest it somehow. I don't know if it's from when it's an egg or when it's like smaller. I don't know. It's gross either way. But intentionally place a tapeworm in their stomach so that it eats some of their food so they lose weight. Now, it does help lose weight. We are moving towards the goal. But having a tapeworm hang out in your stomach can and often does have some pretty unwanted side effects. It's pretty serious side effects. So rather than using the tapeworm with all the negative side effects, why not try other methods of weight loss that can also help you lose weight without the tapeworm? All of the good that religion has demonstrated to be able to do, from what I can see, we can do without religion and without all of the negative, harmful baggage that comes with religion. So why religion? Let's stop using the tapeworm and let's just use better methods. Let's dump this. Yeah, it does good, but we don't need that negative baggage. Let's find things that don't have negative baggage or don't have as much negative baggage. I wish I had my earbuds, but I didn't know you were going to be live tonight. I'm sorry. Here's the kind of guy to daily drive an EKG Honda Civic with a manual transmission and tuned with nitrous. I don't know what any of that means. I don't know what any of that means. If it's an insult, I feel like it's a really, really, really clever insult. And I feel like I can really appreciate it. It's one of those, I know, I'm sorry. It seems like it's really good and clever. I am not a car guy at all. I am so sorry. But it sounds like if I was, that'd be like, I appreciate a good diss. I really do. And I feel like it's not in a language that I can read, but I feel like it's a pretty good diss. What's my favorite food? Probably pasta. Like, generically. I don't know if I would pick a certain pasta, but it's pasta. Alfredo, spaghetti. Love pasta. Do you want to spend some time to learn about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? Always. Always love learning about new things and discussing this such topic. I hit a button. So this is hilarious. The fact that you were saying that it takes a huge psychological toll, Christianity takes a huge psychological toll, is ignoring the fact that you told children that they have been born in the wrong body / are extremely fragile. And we don't hate women. I don't know what New York Times article you got that from. I didn't say you hate women. I said that your God, your religion is misogynistic. It's not quite the same thing, but it's very close. And I don't advocate for teaching kids that they were born in the wrong body, but some kids are trans, and I am pansexual and non-binary. So I've had same-sex attraction for as long as I've had attraction, even before it became sexual. And being raised Christian, I was just always taught that it was wrong. I thought there was something wrong with me. Especially as I got older, I was taught, and I didn't come out until like my early 20s. Um, but as I got older, I was taught that same-sex attraction was Satan whispering in your ear, trying to tear you away from God. So whenever I would have same-sex attractions at all, I would stop and like try to force. I thought I was being attacked by Satan, and it wasn't fun. Legitimately, thought I was being attacked by Satan. I tried to pray the gay away. I tried to push Satan out of my head. It was very traumatic. I'm non-binary. I am not a manly man. Just am not. But Christianity says I should be. And a lot of people said I should be. But I'm not. And it just would have been fucking nice if I had some more LGBTQ plus representation when I was a kid. It would have saved me a lot of trauma. Not to say, hey, all you kids, you're born in the wrong body or whatever, but say, hey, these type of people exist. There's nothing wrong with it. And if that's you, you're good. And I would have been like, oh, great. So I'm not being attacked by Satan. This is just like a thing. And it would have saved me a lot of unnecessary trauma. It's not about pushing, nobody's trying to turn the kids gay or the frogs. No one's trying to turn your kids gay. They're just saying, hey, these people exist and they should be treated equally. And you might be one of them and that's okay. And you might not be one of them and that's okay. That's what the advocacy is for. Want to hear about a gender fluid savior Loki? Of course. Smokey. Smokey. What are you doing? Ow. What are you doing? Punch the table going to pet my cat. Hi. Hi. You got crazy face. Hi. What are you going after? What'd you see? I guess you were face to face with Obama. She looked up and she gave a crazy face to this. I think I would too. If I like look up and it's just like there, I think I would probably do the same. He who denies the existence of God has some reason for wishing that God I'm left at a clip. Hold on, wait. It's St. Augustine. It's a quote from St. Augustine. So I'll bet if I can. I keep punching the right mouse button on my laptop and it keeps pulling up menus. He who denies the existence of God has some reason for wishing that God did not exist. Therefore was my life a horror to me because I would not live halved. I don't know what that last part means. St. Augustine is smarter than me, so maybe that's my fault. But this person in the comments that I'm responding to, he who denies the existence of God has some reason for wishing that God did not exist. I would love for a God to exist. Not really on board with the Abrahamic gods, or any of the gods that I've been presented with, but I would love there to be a God. And I've made videos about that. Smokey! Scratching on the couch. I would like there to be a God. A good, all-loving, all-kind God taking care of people sounds amazing. Getting the relationship back that I thought I once had with a God would be pretty cool. But what I want doesn't really matter. But I would like there to be something else. I love you too. Smokey. God loves you. Don't forget that, bro. And Satan, the god of this world, doesn't want you to believe in anything, so you go to hell. God bless you. Stop wasting your time and believe in Jesus Christ. I can't just believe. Like I said this earlier. I can't just believe, and I need evidence before I don't have a reason to believe. So I'm not going to be able to believe. It's always interesting when people say Satan is the god of this world. It's a weird title to slap on the antagonist of your god. It's like when people say, God didn't create evil, Satan did. Satan created evil. There's a lot of evil. That's like it's like light and dark, good and evil. So like half of all that Satan created. That's like that almost puts him up to godlike levels. It's like I don't know. I'm just trying to put Satan up on a throne, I guess. Satan doesn't want you to believe in anything. Atheists don't believe in nothing. We just don't believe in a God. I can believe in plenty of other things. Have you ever tried not being an atheist? Fuck, it's so simple. All along, the answer was right in front of me. I don't believe in a God. I have no reason to believe in a God. Have you tried believing in a God? Oh my God. It's all so simple. And of course, you could say faith. You gotta have faith. But faith is not a reliable path to the truth. Because you can plug faith in to anything. I can have faith that this baby monitor is going to turn into a unicorn one day and carry me off to Valhalla. And plenty of other people use faith to justify the belief, and there are different gods and religions and what's not. Faith is what you plug in when you don't have any actual good reason to believe. And so it's not a reliable path to the truth. Because then how do I know which one to have faith in? What if I have faith? Because I have just about as much faith to put that there's a God in this religion as there is a God in another religion. It's like, how do I know? What if I get it wrong? Ever tried not being pagan? Thank you so much. I know I'm cured, right? I don't know. Some people, because some people like actually kind of say stuff like that. So some people actually kind of say it's like, just stop. Like, okay, sure. And then you get the Instagram commenters. Instagram, I've learned, uh, and I'm sure like Twitter is worse, but I don't post on Twitter. Instagram is where the children of ignorance and arrogance go to run and play, because Instagram is where you get people who will kick down the door, tell you how fucking stupid and imbecilic you are, and say like, there's so much good evidence to believe in a God. You're just an idiot. You just don't even understand. And then they'll say like, look at the trees. It's one thing. I already just can't stand arrogance, and I try to avoid being arrogant myself as much as I possibly can. And I know I still have some work to do. I cannot stand people just thinking of themselves as high and mighty and belittling others, putting themselves in a position above others. Cannot stand it. I can't stand it even more when you don't even have the knowledge to justify it. It's one thing if you know your shit and you know your shit and you know that other people don't know their shit as much as you do. And so therefore that gives you kind of a superiority complex. It's another thing when you kick down the front door and say, but look at the trees. That's the thing. Like, you gotta at least, I don't know. What is up? Hello. What are the comments? Who's been commenting? Who's been touching my spaghetti? A lot of comments who agree with me. There's a lot. I've got a big dump of comments recently on my nonsense Christianity is harmful nonsense video, but they're just like whole like paragraphs and essays that I don't know if I have the mental capacity to scroll through right now. I scrolled through some of them. Have you watched Daredevil Born Again? I'm telling people to watch it. I have not. This is the part of the show where I like desperately, it gets quiet, so I desperately scroll through the comment section to see if I can find something to save us from the quiet. I do need to. I need to change. I need to change my thing. I know this was like a week ago, and I should have changed it before then. But I didn't. Oops, don't do that. Don't do that. Comments. One of these days, I'm going to learn how to spell. One of these days. Don't do it. I want to start doing. I changed the title in the last live stream because I want to do like just kind of atheist chat or reading comments. In the last stream and in this one, so I got to do it in this one too. I just did a lot of reading comments because chat wasn't moving too fast, which is fine. Don't worry about it. Because there are comments that I don't really know how to articulate in a video that are much easier for me to just say in a live. So that's fine. But I want to like differentiate that, like, because I keep the live streams up after I end them. I post the live stream, so I want to differentiate like when I'm this video I'm talking with chat, this video I'm reading comments. So, no, it's just it's dumb. It's weird. But it's what I want. Here's the thing. We can just say leave people alone, but the whole religion says they will be tortured forever if you do, and it scares them to death. Yeah. The Bible says go make disciples of all the nations. I even had a religion teacher 1 year, and every religion teacher had like, because I went to Christian school, every religion teacher had like slightly different ideas on like Christianity and like what it is. One of my religion teachers said that if you're not trying to save people, if you're not trying to evangelize people, their sin is on you. You didn't even try to save them from their sin. If you try to save them from their sin and they still ignore you, you did what you could. But if you don't even try to go out and evangelize and proselytize or whatever, you're guilty of those people's sins. So it's that thinking, and I know he's not the only Christian who thinks that way. It's that thinking of do it or else, or it's a sin, and hell's on the line if you're not going out and doing what Jesus told you to do, which is go make disciples of all the nations, if you're not at least trying. So there's motivation behind it of that, and just caring about other people, because a lot of the times a Christian genuinely cares and loves people, like genuinely wants to save you, and thinks that you're on the path to destruction and damnation, and they want to save you from that. They think that they're doing the right thing. So there are reasons and incentives for them to go out and do this stuff. Why the religion talk in the chat? Is this the theme? Yes. Kind of just Christianity versus atheism versus, whatever. Theism, atheism, whatever. I remember crying as a kid thinking about my favorite YouTubers burning in hell. Yeah. That's part goes to another commenter. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've had we had a family member recently tell my wife, because my wife's not Christian anymore either, um, talk about how she doesn't know, the family member, how she doesn't know how she's going to be able to enjoy heaven knowing that someone she loves is burning in hell. And it's like, first off, this isn't about you. You're not the one suffering. Why? You're not the one suffering. Second, some Christians have come up with the idea that God alters your memory and your perceptions because we run into that problem of how can you enjoy eternal paradise and have eternal paradise if you know that someone you love is suffering and burning in hell for all of eternity. You can't be at peace or happy knowing that. So some Christians come up with the idea of, well, God has to alter you and alter your memory, so like that you don't remember them, or you're just so fixated on God that it's like you're not even you anymore. So you basically just completely get altered to a completely different person that's not even you anymore, which is problematic and just terrifying. And why? But it's like, yeah, don't worry, family member. God's already got it taken care of. You won't even worry about it. We'll go our way, you go your way. I do not believe in God. Fear of hell that controls some of their actions. Yeah. I'm sorry you're confused and have been led astray. The kingdom is written, and you are. And you are your own savior. Okay. Go within, not without. Yeah, but other people go within with other religions. Other people meditate, and other people try to find a God in the silence. And they find Allah. They find Vishnu. They find, enlightenment. Pick whatever it is. They find their own different gods. Plenty of other people look within, and they find all kinds of different things. Usually a God that, for some reason, conforms with a lot of their biases and beliefs. So the problem is, that's not a reliable path to the truth. That's not a reliable path to finding out which God is true, if any of them. It's just like faith. You can plug it in and use it for literally anything else out there. So that's where I go outward. Because I can't rely on just going within. I can't rely on faith. So I have to go outward and look for actual evidence and facts and testimonies and stuff and engage with other people on this. Because inward has failed. Facts religions be like, don't research, it's crazy. Religions do be like, don't research, and it's crazy, and that's a bad thing. I don't know if that's what you're saying, but I know the Bible definitely tells you to stray away from the world and stop learning. Don't be wise in the world, thinking themselves wise, they make themselves fools. Don't be of the world, be one with Christ. It has teachings that kind of stray you away from asking questions and looking outward, because trust me, when you start to ask a lot of questions and look outward, you learn some things, and Christianity starts to lose its credibility. And the same goes with other, theistic and religious beliefs. They start to lose their credibility, and that's how you can get out. And that's not how we retain congregations. That's not how we retain people. So we got to put those little clauses in there, just like, hey, don't ask questions. And it's not a bad thing. Any system of beliefs that says, hey, don't ask questions, don't research, just look only at this book, is terrible. That's how cult mindsets are. That's how things like Heaven's Gates happen and Jonestown happen. It's terrible. It's just awful, and a lot of atrocities have been done with that mindset. So no, never just keep your eyes forward. Never keep your head down. Never just stay in line. Always ask questions. Always do your research. Heaven's gates and the witness, etc. Facts, heaven's gate and the witness, etc. I don't know what that means. Do you have any good held comments? Queer people can reproduce. Just somebody responding. Because some people argue, one of the arguments against homosexuality is that it'll bring the end of the species. That brings about the end of mankind. If everyone was gay, then nobody would reproduce. And that's not how anything works. That's not how anything works. First off, we're still the minority, and we will probably always be the minority, and that's fine. Second off, some not straight people are still in straight presenting relationships. I am not straight, I am pansexual, but I have a wife and we have a child. So like you can reproduce, and even when you're not straight. And there's in vitro, there's surrogacy, there's other methods that we've come up with for people to get pregnant that doesn't necessarily rely on just the traditional male and female sideways bebop. So no, homosexuality is not going to bring about the end of the species. The song Everybody Goes to Hell by Candy Carpenter is really good. It's sung in the perspective of a pagan, but can work well with atheists too. Might have to add that to my notebook. My notebook that I usually, when I bring it up, if somebody gives me a recommendation or whatever, I'll put it in my little handy dandy notebook. And then I'll literally tell people, I forget that this notebook exists. Because usually I just do live streams on Tuesday night. I will write it down. I will put it in my little basket of stuff that I don't touch. I don't even know why I have it. Back in my cabinet, bookcase, whatever. And I will forget about it until next week. But I recently went through and took screenshots, or pictures, of all of my, I'm used to taking notes on my phone, I guess. Took pictures of all the pages that I have. So now I have it on my phone. And so now whenever, I don't have to go look at this and pull this out and dig this out and, because it's not the easiest to get out and flip through it. I have it on my phone. So I actually did go through a lot of the stuff that I've had written in my notes for months. I mean, stuff that I have written in my notes from before I did YouTube live streams, from when I did TikTok live streams. So there's hope. There's hope that I will someday, maybe soon, listen to that song. Everybody Goes to Hell. I can read my handwriting. I want to grab my mouse to scroll down, but it's not. It's my phone. So the other day I went to McDonald's and one of the chicken nuggets was shaped like Jesus. And now I'm thinking it's a sign. Thoughts? Probably not. It would be shaped like Jesus in the same way that clouds are shaped like teddy bears. We have pattern recognition systems in our brains, and we like to organize things and recognize things as patterns, even when those patterns aren't necessarily there. So Just chicken nuggets just look like stuff sometimes. They come out in different shapes, and one might vaguely resemble a man with long hair or whatever. You believe that when we die, we're born again in the planet again, maybe as someone else or something? No, I do not. Yeah, that would be reincarnation. Drew, I'm telling you, dude, it was like Jesus bending over and praying. I ate it though. It was so good, very delicious. I was high. I'm still high. I want more chicken nuggets. Get more chicken nuggets. In a world of DoorDash, you can just have chicken nuggets brought to you. It's significantly more expensive, but it's worth it. For not having to leave the house and not having to interact with people, you can just like boop some things into your phone, and then like you can have it to where the people just leave it at your door. So you don't even have to look at it. Just leave it at the door, walk away. I will peek out the window and wait for them to drive away, and then I will go and get my chicken nuggets from the porch. Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats. I don't even know. I think we do Uber Eats actually. Oh yeah, significantly more expensive. And, I mean, fuck, everything's getting expensive nowadays. But jeez, McDonald's used to chill on their prices. McDonald's is supposed to be just like the cheap fast food that's like not gourmet, but it's not bad. And now it's like the prices are getting so high. It's like, hey man, you're not that good actually. It's just like, I don't need chicken nuggets if they're gonna cost a stupid amount of money. I just get chicken nuggets from somewhere else, I guess. I do not believe in reincarnation. I believe that when we pass away, the chemical reactions in our brain that cause thought, consciousness, memories, feelings, things like that, the us, if you will, what some people might confuse with some kind of soul, just stops. And we essentially cease to exist. From our perspective, we will be as we were before we were born. Just cease to exist. Gone. However, matter and energy cannot be destroyed. Our matter and energy will be transferred to other things. We'll decompose, we'll release the rest of our heat, radiation very shortly after dying. Our matter will break down into other things that things will eat, and then that'll convert into energy and whatnot. A lot of stuff happens to our bodies after we die, and we do return to the earth and to everything going on. So there is some truth to, like, in a sense, part of us. I wouldn't say living on because it's not really alive, but continuing on and continuing to be a part of the earth. Not to mention living on in people's memories. I think we're shaped largely by our experiences about people we meet, who we meet, what they teach us, how they teach us, things like that, and just different things that happen. And so, for an example, my grandfather is no longer with us. But I've had many interactions with him. And I loved him, and I learned a lot of things from him. That helped shape who I am. So, in a way, I still carry that little piece with him, of him with me, wherever I go. And when I interact with people and have even a minute effect on their lives, my piece, that includes his piece, goes on. And if you look up your ancestry, human beings, and just humans, not even talking about our non-human ancestors, human beings have been on this earth for 200,000 years. You have a lot of ancestors. If you go further up the line, and two people in the fucking 200s don't have sex, You and a lot of other people aren't born. So people's choices and their lives affect ours, even if we'll never know them, even if we'll never remember their names. And even continuing on, you know, I carry that piece of my grandfather with me, and it becomes a part of my piece that I leave with others, that I might leave with my grandkids one day. And then they'll have an effect on their grandkids. I would hope, everyone still, is staying with the family and not dying too early or whatever. So that piece will still be passed on. We're affected by people tens of thousands of years ago who are just gone from memory, but we would not be the same without, even if it's just in some minute way. So we do carry on, and especially if we are fortunate enough to make great change and make lasting impacts in this world. That, like history book level, preferably positive, we can change the world for the better. So yes, we do, part of us does continue on and still is around interacting with things and doing stuff after we die. But us, we, our consciousness, just gone. As beautiful in and of itself, morbidly so. Yeah, I'm giving the little bacteria that are eating away at my flesh after I die. I'm giving them foodles. Foodles for the bacteria. It's nice. I'm feeding the little guys. I won't be using it anymore. That's why I tell people, when I pass away, use my body in like the best way that you can think of. And I don't really know what that's gonna be. I'm an organ donor, so like, whatever good shit I have, I don't need it anymore. Take it, give it to someone else. And like the rest of me, whatever's left, you can donate it to science. I help with research and learning and stuff. You can plant it in the ground, and just let me return to the soil or whatever. There's the little tree pod things. You can become a tree. It is great to become a tree, but you put in a tree pod and your rotting corpse fertilizes a tree. It's very beautiful and poetic. But just like, do something good with it. And I tell them, do not get a fancy, expensive coffin. Because how will the bugs get in? Let it be something where I can go back to. Obviously, like for the funeral, I want to be preserved enough. I would hope that I can have an open casket for the funeral, so that people can say goodbye. Because I know the funerals that I've gone to, I have liked having the open casket, so I can look at my loved one once again. So I like that. Funerals are a good time for people to come and say goodbye, and get closure and grieve and whatnot. So like, whatever you gotta do, I'm dead. I'm out of the equation. Don't even worry about me. So like, whatever you gotta do to help everybody else, to continue to use me to help everyone else. Make sure people get to say their goodbyes at my funeral, even if it's a closed casket, whatever. And then just do good things with my body. No. Why are you off now? Well, good thing I have the remote. I guess it is 10:30. Maybe that's it. So the lights go off at 10:30 now because of the time change. Because I was confused about that, because the dining room lights came on at 4 yesterday, because they're timed to be at 4, but the time change didn't affect it. But then the other lights didn't come on. I don't know. The light turned off at 10:30. Do not cremate me. I hope that if you do, I hope that there's an afterlife, and I hope that I can come back as a ghost and I will haunt you, and it will not be cute like, oh, he's still with us. No, bitch, I'm burning your house down with you in it. Like, I will drag you into this hell with me for eternity. Do not cremate me. It's just like such a waste of perfectly good goods. If you cremate, the little bacteria buddies can't just eat dust. I mean, maybe they can. They probably can. But like, not good num-nums for the bacteria. So that means no jumping off a building if you want to be able to use your body. I know. With that, morbid, beautiful, poetic, somewhere in between uh, ending. I am at an hour. I usually love to go later than an hour, um, but I do have to work tomorrow in the morning, and I am tired. So I do think I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I usually go live every single Tuesday night, sometime after 9:30, and I usually go live for a little over an hour, um, Central Standard Time, a little after 9:30 Central Standard Time. It varies. I put my daughter to bed, I wait for her to fall asleep, and I get my stuff set up, and then I go live. So it varies, you know. Um, but usually sometime after or around 9:30. And yeah, Central Standard Time. I want to start doing more live streams, so I had the opportunity to do so tonight, so I took it. Now it is sleepy time. It is very much sleepy time. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Everyone who, even if you just stopped by for a second, I'm a random nobody on the internet. You don't know me anything. Especially, if you stayed and watched longer, I love you too, Taylor. If you engaged in chat, likes, whatever, it's anything. Anything's cool. So thank you. Thank you for being here. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your night, day, whatever time it is, wherever you're at, whenever you're watching this. Um, all is well. I hope all is well with you. So thank you for being here, and I will see you later, maybe.